We're talking about Miss Universe Nigeria, and we want to date back since when this actually began in terms of how the Silverbird Group had taken it from inception up until now. There's no better person to talk about this. And the President of Silverbird Group, Mr. Guy Murray. Bruce, thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Sharon. Thanks for inviting me here.
It's amazing. How is it working with ladies over 36 years in terms of pageantry, coordination, all the things that go down to successful pageantry that we've witnessed Silverbird Group put together for years and years?
Well, thanks for that question. People keep asking me that question, but the truth of the matter is, I don't see it any different from any other business. You got to stay focused on what you do and make sure you deliver a good product at the end of the day. That's all that matters to me. And that's exactly what we've been doing for 38 years, not 36 years. It's actually 1986.
38 years?
Yes, 1986 we started.
Amazing. Now, let's talk about this Miss Universe before I narrow it down to Miss Universe Nigeria. Nigeria has been, over the years, very well represented because of what the Silverbird Group does every year. And this year, 2024, is no different. You want to take us down the memory lane up until where we are at the moment?
Well, don't forget we started in 86 to date. And we started off as Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria. Only last year we changed it to, we decided to break it down to two, because we have three major events that we go for internationally: Miss Universe, Miss World, and Miss Supranational. Miss Universe and Miss World insist you must have your winners being crowned for their events. So because of that, contractually, we had to change the name to Miss Universe Nigeria and Miss World Nigeria. So far, this is the second edition of Miss Universe Nigeria, and it's been spectacular in the last, I would say, 24 years, ever since Agbani Darego won the Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria pageant in 2001.
Yes. And
later on went on to represent Nigeria in Miss Universe in Puerto Rico, and she was top 20, first Nigerian to ever be top 20 in Miss Universe. And in November, or December, I can't remember exactly, she won Miss World in 2001 in South Africa. And ever since then, there's been an explosion of ladies wanting to participate in this pageant because they found out that it's a great platform to become whatever you want to be in life after you win your title, or even to compete. Because I know there's people, there have been many success stories of people who've been in the pageant in the last 30, 40 years. So, I mean, the sky's the limit if you take part in a pageant. It's empowering women and giving hope for ladies who thought they couldn't do certain things.
It's amazing. And I remember vividly when the ladies came for screening here, and some people who came to the Galleria were just staring at like, okay, where were this bevy of beauties coming from at this point in time? Tell us, what makes this year's Miss Universe 2024 different from what you had last year, perhaps even from what you've had in the past?
Well, I mean, the delegates are pretty much the same. I mean, the citizens of the country, they come out, we ask them, well, first of all, you got to be 18 and over, right?
Okay, yes.
Prior to that, it used to be 18 to 28. Now, for Miss Universe, you got to be 18 and over. So 18 to any age past your age, if you like.
Okay, so
yeah,
I can
literally, you could participate in the pageant if you so desired to participate. I would not recommend it because you work in Silverbird, so you're exempted from this now. But any woman 18 plus, irrespective of the age, forward. If you're 90-year-old and you think you can compete with a 20-year-old, that's good for you. I'm sure you can come out. But it's 18 plus for Miss Universe, and there's a very diverse set of women that would participate in Miss Universe Nigeria now, or Miss Universe pageant itself. This year, we selected 24 delegates to represent various states of the Federation, but there's a particular one that came out, maybe out of sympathy.
And that's where I'm headed. You're taking that from me,
okay,
which is very interesting.
I'll take it back from you. But right now, we currently have 25,
okay.
25 delegates, so I'll leave the rest to you.
Thank you so much. Now, the noise is mainly about Chidimma Adetshina,
yes,
which many Nigerians are asking questions. Why would the organizers of Miss Universe Nigeria give her a chance to participate where some other delegates right now, those that have been considered to have shortlisted to vie come 31st of August, already had their mind settled that they were there? Yeah. So what really informed that particular action? Well,
first of all, like I said, 24 delegates were selected to participate. This was like two plus weeks ago, to participate in Miss Universe Nigeria. But come last week, there was an issue with Chidimma in South Africa. She had to pull out of Miss South Africa because of her background, because she was half Nigerian, half South African, and there was a question mark about the ancestry of her mother, whether she was in Mozambique, or etc., etc. So Friday, this is just today, Tuesday, right?
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday, sure.
So it goes into Tuesday, actually.
Okay, Tuesday, whatever. It's a week plus now, right? She pulled out of Miss South Africa pageants. Today's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. But today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
Jesus Christ.
So we're going into Tuesday.
I've lost track of time now. So it's been a week now. Friday, a week ago, I reached out to the national director of Miss South Africa, who happens to be a friend of mine, Stephanie, and I asked her, I said, Chidimma has been pulled. I said, yes, there's uproar about her participating. She's been excluded. She's been in a private room, away from the girls for fear of her family and her life. She's been kept away, and that she doesn't like what's going on. So I said, okay, can she participate in Miss Universe Nigeria? I said, well, she's not Nigerian. I said, trust me, she has a Nigerian father. She's got to be Nigerian, I'm sure. You know, we all know how that works, right?
Yes.
Well, being in South Africa, she didn't quite understand what I was talking about. So I said that to pass on the word, because I didn't know Chidimma, I didn't have any way to reach her. At the same time, we did a press release, giving an invitation to come to Nigeria if she so desired. and so long as she met the requirements for the screening, because every girl has to be screened before participating in the pageant. And somehow she reached out to me that day and indicated her willingness to participate in our pageant because she was being victimized because she was half Nigerian and half South African. So I gave her like an olive branch and said, you know what, you can come so long you meet these requirements. You must have a Nigerian passport, you have a Nigerian father, we do know that, etc., etc., etc. Fill out the form, go through the screening process, which she did over the weekend with the guys in the office. She did all that stuff. And before then, there was a group of girls in the pageant who were saying, let Chidimma come participate, let's extend our invitation to Chidimma. That came the same time we did the press release.
Well, let me come into that. That may be another thing to talk about. There are rumors around there that not all the girls are comfortable with the fact that she's coming now, because they feel strongly that, I mean, she had put in somewhere, and then maybe the organizers are giving her some preferential treatment. How do you clear that?
No, the girls wanted her to come. If it's a rumor, then I'll leave it as a rumor because I don't have any facts of that. But they did want her to come as well. So it's about sisterhood, and it just shows the kind of love we have for people and how we can help our fellow Nigerian outside the country. The girls reached out, we reached out, and if you say some girls are upset, I don't know about that. I'm just hearing from you for the first time. But there were no indications prior to that.
Very interesting.
That they were agitating towards her coming. But I do know we have an open field here in Nigeria. We're very open, we accept a lot of people, we're very welcoming to our brothers and sisters. So I see a lady in distress, you got to help that person. And that's exactly what we did to Chidimma.
Okay, that's
like I said, this is an exceptional, it's not the norm. We've never done this before.
And so that is why you may, easily understand why some people are raising questions
yes.
as to the magnanimity of the organizers to have reached out to her in the first instance, and then she come into the fold. We need to clear this controversy because I'm talking to you right now, and it can only come from the horse's mouth. So what would the organizers have to tell everyone watching, even the sponsors, every stakeholder, with the fact that even as Chidimma comes aboard, that this pageant, this particular Miss Universe Nigeria, remains as authentic and as true to itself as it's been since inception?
Well, there'll be equality amongst all the delegates. 8 delegates are going to show up in camp. There'll be no favoritism. They all share rooms. They all have to wake up in the morning, do the rehearsals. They have to have breakfast together. They have lunch together, the dinner together. They rehearse together. They do everything together. They all interview together. They all spoke to at the same time. They'll have separate interviews for their events, whatever they do. The point is, it's like kind of like being in school and being in the classroom. You've conformed with the rules and regulations of the college, of the school, and you stick by it. That's exactly what's going to happen in camp over the 10 days they will be in camp with us.
Tell us about the build-up to this big event, which will climax on the 31st of
By the way, it's a huge event. It's the most sought-out event in Nigeria, pageant that is. We'll have, of course, Chidimma is going to join us, right? She'll be the 25th delegate. She represents the entire Taraba state. We have 25 beautiful delegates from around the country. No one is different from the other. I cannot see that because I see them as strong women who want to make a difference in their lives and in the country. Because whoever wins this pageant will move on to represent Nigeria at the Miss Universe pageant in Mexico City, Mexico, November 16th of this year.
That's so amazing. All right, so everyone knows that when it comes to staging pageants in Nigeria, in the world, the Silverbird Group comes tops. I'm still speaking with the president of Silverbird Group, Mr. Guy Bruce. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on the expectations of every stakeholder come 31st of August, 2024, Miss Universe 2024.
Hello everyone, welcome to GNU according to CD, that is Government of National Unity. Guys, listen to this liar again. This time around, he decided to double down, but he's doubling down. He decided not to touch on a very important aspect of Chidimma, that her mother stole a South African's identity document which got her registered as a South African citizen, and the real South African citizen had to suffer up until she got a new ID number. No, he doesn't want to touch that. Instead, he wants to say that South Africans victimized her. Victimized her because she's a Nigerian South African. Even that part as well is incorrect, because now we already know what the update is. Okay, fine. It's still allegations and they're still investigating. And I'm glad that the matter now is in the hands of the Hawks, who are going to dig deeper than just her citizenship and status of the parents, including the father, what the father does, what sort of, or how do they make their living. I'm sure we're going to find some white powder somewhere in there. Anyways, this guy continues to lie about Miss Universe Nigeria, that it is the most sought after pageant in the world. And I'm like, what? Did you know that there was Miss Nigeria, what we call this Miss Universe Nigeria before? Hmm? Because the only time that you see Miss Nigeria is when they are on an international stage, whether that is Miss Universe or Miss World. And we know that they never make it up to top 10 in Miss Universe. They always die somewhere in the top 20 or sometimes not even at all. Yes, in 2001, Miss Nigeria did win Miss World when it was held in Sun City here in South Africa. And that was the only one. That was 2001, the same year that Chidimma's mother was busy stealing a South African citizen's identity document for Chidimma. And another interesting thing is when Chidimma's mother, when you think about what was reported, when Chidimma's mother stole the South African lady's identity document, Chidimma was already born without a certificate, born without being registered in the population register. So where was she born? Was she born in Mozambique? Was she born in Nigeria? Because clearly there are no files that shows that she was born in Soweto without a state or stateless, whatever the case might be. There are no files. Remember, the minister went to the archives of Baragwanath Hospital, went to the probably the schools that she had attended and all of that stuff. Those are fields that I think they are talking about. And there's no mention that her file was found in the Baragwanath archives. Remember the archives I told you guys that you'll find it in a dungeon at Baragwanath Hospital? That is exactly what I'm talking about when you're talking about the hospital files. The archives are in the dungeon when you go to Baragwanath Hospital. So they don't talk about that. And this guy, he continues to lie and he still wants to paint South Africa with the black brush that we victimize, what you call this, Chidima. As a result, he had extended an olive leaf. I'm not quite even sure if we understand what the whole olive leaf thing mean. Like, yeah, I extended an olive leaf for her to come and participate in Miss Universe Nigeria. And the question was from the interview, as you guys heard, where's she from? I mean, he tried to be a little bit slick about it, which I think is also a sleazeball, this guy. And he goes like, well, she's Nigerian because her father is Nigerian. You know how it goes, which is true. In an African culture, the child belongs to the father. That is why it is Chidimma Vanessa Onwe Adetshina. There's no other surname, even Mozambican name or surname is in her names. Why? Because the father believes that a child belongs to the father. And unfortunately for him, he did that in a country where we know our surnames. We know our surnames from black people, all of us. We know our South African surnames when it comes to white people. We know our surnames when it comes to colored people. And we know our surnames when it comes to, yeah, just us South Africans. That is our identity. That's the rainbow nation. So now when you come and add an Argentina, of course it's gonna raise eyebrows. Like, wait, woo, Itagazelos are 19. That's the first thing that we want to know. And we don't have such a thing. And then, of course, if we don't have such a thing, it's bound to get rejected. That's exactly what South Africans were saying. We're like, listen, fine, we're not arguing that you were born in South Africa, but are you a South African? And then it came out that no, she is not. Her father is Nigerian, which of course that raises a red. I mean, it rings bells and red flags everywhere. I saw red when I heard that her father is Nigerian. Because come on, guys, our problems in South Africa, especially when it comes to crime, they are attributed mostly to Nigerian men that are here in South Africa illegally. Please, guys, those of you that are legal and doing and you are abiding by the laws of the country. I'm not talking about y'all. I know there's a lot of y'all who are good Nigerians, like my barber. I'll always talk about my barber because he's a really, really good guy. And we do talk about these issues, and he gets really, really angry in the past. He will get so angry, would shake with anger that his countrymen are spoiling good names like his own here in the country. Just like there are good other foreign nationals in South Africa, Ghanaians are the best behaved foreign nationals in South Africa. And yes, we know there are those that are illegal, but because they're not misbehaving, nobody's paying attention to them. You know why? Because they work, they got businesses, and they employ people, even South Africans, in the shops, whether it's a shoemaking shop or it's a spaza shop or something. They integrated very well with South African people, and South Africans love Ghanaian people. That is a fact. Are there bad ones? Yes, there are bad ones, but how many are they? They're very minute. Even if you go to a prison system, you will find maybe 2 or 3 or 4 Ghanaians versus Nigerians. I'm talking in our jails and prisons right now. You will hardly find a Ghanaian misbehaving in South Africa. They are minding their own business. They respect South Africans. They respect the laws of the country. Sometimes they would even ask, hey, I like that girl. Would I be allowed to date her? Like, I mean, if she likes you back, cool. But the thing is, when you are pompous and really destroying our country and throwing it to the dogs, you think we're going to roll over and play dead? No, of course, we're not going to do that. So now this sleazeball right here continues to lie, basically misleading the people of Nigeria. Now he's saying that Nigeria is the most sought after pageant in the world. Like what? Nobody knows Miss Universe Nigeria. Nobody does. Nobody is looking. The only reason why it's popular right now is because of Chidimma. And he is climbing on the back of Chidimma's name to also make money out of this situation, get sponsors, because apparently sponsors have been tripping over to try and sponsor Miss Universe. I can see it's from Silverbird, which he is the CEO of the Silverbird Group in Nigeria, which is also in charge of Miss Universe Nigeria. I don't know. All of this sounds very, very dodgy. To begin with, himself sounds dodgy because we know now he's a habitual liar, and he continues to lie to the people of Nigeria and together whoever else that cares to listen to him. We do listen because we want to follow up on all these lies that are being told so that we can straighten them out. I hope he is going to now tell the truth after the update of today, but I don't think he will do it. You know how they do their things, right? They come around and say, we are the best, we excellent in other people's countries. Why don't you be excellent in your own? Right, really? Other than that, guys, please do not leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And when you subscribe, please make sure to click the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching the ads, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.